Leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? That circle the lips, play ball. Play ball.
Allow their child to sleep in bed with another. Right. So you know
Load
what
up the
I
bases and smack it right over the
You know
wall.
what has a problem? Yes.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Stage Live. Thank you. Here at Strong Island TV, Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York, right next to the Long Island Railroad Station for Massapequa. It is a beautiful night. We're back 2 weeks. We're back 2 weeks. I got to think about this. We're back.
Yeah.
We have the Nursing Home Warriors on tonight. Steve Oliver is going to be on the show tonight. He's over there right now looking at pictures of his children. And Tom DiDario.
I'm showing Tom a picture of an otter eating a fish on his back.
Thank you. Tom DiDario is here for his comedy wit. This is something I wanted to try on Laughter Saves Lives. We had Steve, we have Pat, myself, and we're kind of funny sometimes, but we wanted to bring in some masters of comedy. Some Long Island Queens masters that could take any topic and mold it into a funny. You know what I'm saying? So we called upon you. So this is your job tonight, is to be freaking funny. Don't try to give us any deep stuff. We'll get into that.
Dealing with
You
Tom
need to-
DiDario here. That's assumed, my friend.
That's what I said.
assumed.
A little bit of, no pressure. There's no pressure upon you.
Okay.
So,
He looks like he's gonna vomit.
what was the last time you did a show where you bombed? Can I ask you that?
Ooh.
Oh, John, it's many
Teddy
years
Ro-
ago.
Teddy
No.
Roosevelt was president. buddy.
It was about 3 or 4 years ago in Staten Island, and it was in a restaurant, and they hated me.
Yeah, but was it because it was
something
something with comedy, like one of those nights where they go, hey, we're giving out some awards, we get this, and we want a comic? One of those? Because
I wish I could say that. I really would love to
it was
come
just
up.
a comedy show.
It was a comedy show.
All right. Who
And
are these people?
And I sucked.
No, you didn't suck.
Were they all constipated?
You didn't suck.
Dude, I don't know
I
what
like-
to say.
What
Maybe
were you
I made
wearing?
them mad.
I want to know what you
I
were
was
wearing.
wearing that shirt that you
That
hate.
shirt's hideous.
No, that wasn't it. It wasn't the shirt.
What was
but
it?
I don't know.
How did you
It
start off?
could have
Did you
been
make fun of
something-
somebody, like start right up front?
No, I don't know what it was. I mean, it was a hard situation, but if you're professional, you should be able to handle it. I went in the corner of a room. They put a speaker on a chair.
Right.
They had a microphone, and they just said, "Hey, we have our comedian tonight, Tom DiDario." It was a lit up restaurant.
They put you in a corner?
Yeah, it was a lit up restaurant. There was like 125 people
So
there.
the next
and
time-
they hated me. I did 46 minutes. It was the longest 46 minutes.
Oh,
of
my
life.
God. The next time you tell me you're not paying me enough, I'm going to say, remember the night you were in the
Remember
corner?
Staten Island? Yeah.
Did they
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
you more than I pay you? Did
For
they pay you good money?
For during the week, it was a good pay.
Oh, never mind.
I
All
mean,
right, forget it.
it's
Never
all
mind.
relative.
I want to know the
Never mind.
social dynamics of those people because there had to be something
Yeah.
wrong with them.
Steve, it was
And
the
I'm not
weird-
kissing your ass.
No, I
'cause wouldn't
appreciate
say
that,
this
bro.
to John.
Yeah.
But
You wouldn't say this to John? Is that what you
No,
said?
he said he wouldn't.
He wouldn't? All right, because my hearing.
I want to know the
when I'm getting
dynamics.
This, I want to make sure I
You
got
got
it.
this.
was there
You got
a-
this,
I
baby.
wish I knew.
Was
I
there an animal
literally-
in the room?
I was literally picking up my phone, like about 15 minutes in. I knew it was an
You were
awful
like-
night, and I was picking up my timer, and I was
my
going
God.
like, "Hey,
12
everybody,
minutes, 12
25 minutes left. I'm sorry, but 25 minutes left." And I kept putting the phone down, and then I would do jokes.
Right.
And usually, as a comic, right, you'll start a bit. You know how
That's
it is, guys.
hysterical.
You'll start a joke, and if it doesn't work, you bail on the subject and you move on to something else.
Right.
But I knew that if they didn't like one thing I did,
They weren't gonna
hated
like
it.
it. Right.
They weren't going to like anything else. So I did every tag to every joke I do,
That
even
takes-
though they hated
Good discipline.
everything I said.
Good discipline,
So they
Tom.
really
It is.
hated you.
It is.
It was so
It's
bad.
not easy.
And I got to 12 minutes, and I picked up my phone again, and I went, 12 minutes left, everybody.
Oh, 12 minutes left.
Yes.
And they clapped.
No, they
Oh,
went,
bastard.
ah,
Oh, no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
kidding.
That's terrible.
Collectively.
Listen, that's when you can attack a little bit. You're 40 minutes, 35 minutes into the set. They're rude like that. Now you can go after somebody.
They went, ah.
Did you follow a balloon folder?
No, I
They're tough
know.
to
You know what
I
your
don't-
problem is?
What?
You're not used to bombing. You don't do that enough. Steve is used to that. He can deal with
I agree.
that.
I prefer it.
You know what I'm saying? No, let me tell you something. I've seen, he loves it, in fact, sometimes.
There's something about it.
And when Pat Marone's in the room, he laughs so loud when we're bombing. Like, he gets off on that. Right? Am I right? When Pat's in the room?
He'll film it and
Kelly
watch it.
constantly bores me.
I mean, nobody filmed this show. I should just deny
God.
that it happened. I should
No,
say.
no. I'm the
But
same
who
way.
wants to hear stories about comedians killing? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you,
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah,
mean,
you
like,
learn more.
nobody
Let
wants
me
to
ask,
know, I did so well last
Tom,
night.
let me ask the nursing home warriors before we get into their serious topics
Absolutely.
here.
Yes.
Have you guys ever bombed? Like, did you ever give a talk about something and you thought, wow, this is going to kill, everybody's going to be interested in this, you prepared, and people were like, oh my God, can't wait till this is over.
Not so much.
Never happened to you.
I know that they did
Not so
a
much.
pizza cooking demonstration for a group of lactose intolerant people, and
Without realizing.
didn't go
they
up?
didn't go
That didn't
good.
go
Even though they're bubbly and they.
Please tell me what you do, though. What do you do?
Well,
What
can
is
we-
the
can-
thing?
can-
I'm going to tell you, the only thing that
What?
ever goes wrong is that I want to say more, and Jules is just like, pretty much shut up, Danielle.
Really? You talk too much?
It's not-
Is that possible? You talk too
It's
much?
family friendly, that's why.
All right, Tom wants to know what you do. Steve and I kind of have an idea what you do. So,
But they don't know.
yeah, I know. Well, we're going to
people
bring
in the
them in,
magic
but
box.
we're building. We're building to
Okay,
that.
we're building.
Jules, what do we do?
So we have the nursing home warriors on. I met them. I met them through Art from LifeVac, who's one of our sponsors. I won a LifeVac the other night at Donna Burke's comedy show for the doggies.
LifeVac
the
Save
canine
Lives.
something or others. It was a thing where they train dogs and then they give them to people in wheelchairs and stuff. I should know the name of it. I'm sorry, I don't. But I won the LifeVac. So now I have two.
That's great.
Thank you very much.
You know my motto: one can never have enough life hacks.
There you go.
That is your motto? As of?
It is now.
It is now.
As of my two
so
favorite
ha-
ladies again.
We had you on the show once before. And we have you on the show once before.
Three.
But no, we had him on once. How did you guys get into advocating for seniors? Is it seniors or people in their homes?
No,
or
it's a
could be
very
any age.
no, it's a very select population of people. People who reside in nursing homes. Those are our target audience.
Okay.
So
Now
it could be
what?
any age, any.
It doesn't matter how old
obviously.
they are. It doesn't matter why they're there. If they reside in a nursing home, we're the people to contact.
You guys are doing God's work. People say to me sometimes, "Oh, you're doing God's work," and I'm doing comedy. We're raising some money. When we go, Steve went to the filled in for me because I had to teach. I'm very smart. I teach also. I went up to Toronto a few weeks ago to teach for Customs and Border Protection, and I couldn't go to the show. Steve ran it for me.
That's about how far the trip you sent me on was.
Yes, he went up to Hudson, New York, and we started doing shows. It's our first one for the retirement home for volunteer firefighters in this
Yeah.
state. I've been working on this for 2 years to try to get this one. He went up there and he had a great time. The guys loved it.
I'm going to explain real quick. I'm a retired firefighter, 23 years.
Look at him, you know he's
All
retired.
busy companies, never took the easy way out. Hard-nosed guy. But
God.
this place I didn't even know existed. It was the Firemen's FASNY, I believe is the.
It's the retirement home for New York State volunteer
Yeah, it could
firefighters.
be upstate, could be Long Island.
Hudson,
and
anywhere in the
Hudson-
state.
Yeah, I mean, they were from everywhere. And
Beautiful.
Beautiful grounds, perfectly kept, exquisite. And, they really do a nice job for these guys. And, yeah, I didn't even know the place existed. So
Anything-
I'm glad to know that that's there.
You did a wonderful job. They want us back. We had Carrie, oh no, not Carrie Karamis, Ellen Karras, yourself, and Tugboat Manny filled in for me.
Yeah.
And they loved it, and they can't wait to have us back. They actually said, can you bring Tom DiDario next time?
Damn right. They would love
put it in
Back
the
to
corner.
the nursing home warriors.
Yes.
So,
But I
corner.
don't think that
Back to you guys.
I guess what I'm saying is, I get the impression that I don't think your services would be needed up there. The place was so well.
That's
There
right.
there were
I
people,
know you never know, but
Right,
Yeah, but a lot
This
of times
place
they
is
make
nice.
the lobby nice and the grounds nice and the first
I
floor
love
nice.
you right now.
cosmetic.
Right.
Yes, it's cosmetic. Once
cosmetic.
You,
But I
yes.
think there's a
You're
different
right.
Go
story.
inside. Go to the
Right.
third floor.
No,
Look in the back.
Tom, it's
I
It's
agree.
an
But I sensed
You're-
it. I talked to the guys.
Yeah.
I understand you guys are very knowledgeable. You've seen it all, a lot. But listen, I'm going to be up at this place in 30 years. All right, so
Just keep our number.
come up and check on
Keep
me.
our numbers. We got
The
you.
lack of knowledge police
We got you.
driving up to
So
your
back to
location.
the nursing home warriors. Don't play with the cars. Back to the nursing home warriors.
No banana for me today.
So how did you guys get involved with this? How did you guys decide this is something that you think needs to be done? Because you stir the pot, right?
Yes.
Have you gotten in trouble?
Yes.
Give me an example.
We got pulled into an administrator's office to have a sit down with
Oh wow.
Because
because he didn't necessarily find what we had to say entertaining.
Because they're privately owned, and then
But-
when people run out of money, they end up leaving them, and they want them to pass away so they can fill their space with somebody else.
No, what I'm
that
saying-
has money in their home that they can take. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's even accurate.
I don't even know
It's
what
not
that's.
far off, I'll tell you that.
So,
I don't want to
but-
get you in
Not far
trouble
off.
either. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't
I
care.
really can't get in any more trouble than I usually
they
do.
So
don't.
you,
No,
but
but
you
that-
advocate in general now. You don't talk about
Yes.
specifics that go on in
Kind
the
of.
place you work.
No.
You just talk about maybe you'll
talking
see
to the
something there and you
spirit
go,
of
oh, here's a good
Ghost Future.
idea.
Well, also I go into other nursing homes, and Jules and I have been doing this
Live
for
on your
collectively over 65 years. Collectively, we've been in the business for 65 years. So, in 65 years of being in nursing homes, we have pretty much seen it all. I mean, abuse, neglect, abandonment.
It's, you know, we
Sounds
do
like
the
my
St.
childhood.
We do the St. Albans show. Steve's doing that show in a few weeks. We do the St. Albans show.
Yes.
And that's a rough place.
I've been there. I had a private patient there once. I was not impressed.
4 guys in a room. Most of them can't come down to the show. It's very sad. It's very overwhelming. And I think the majority of people out there, I don't want to know. If it's not my relative in there, if it's not my relative or whatever, I don't really
Even
want
if
to
it
know.
is their
And it's,
I
relative.
agree.
and sometimes, yeah, you're right. Because I talk to some of the guys. Oh yeah, I have a nephew who lives here. When was the last time you saw him? 3 years ago. You know, it's really sad. It's really overwhelming. When I walk out of that place to go, I'm not coming back here for a month. You know, and it really bothers me. I battle with it. Do you guys go through that? I mean, when you walk out of there at the end of the day, are there certain patients that you say, I just wish we could do more for?
Every day. Every
That's
day.
why we do what we do.
Yeah. There are some residents that we've seen who are also brought in under the misconception that they are going home.
Oh, that's the worst.
So
right?
they
They come in as a short-term person, short-term resident, and then all of a sudden they hear they're not going home anymore.
Oh,
And it's something that's not told to them up front. We kind of
because they would never agree to it.
Well, also we didn't know. We didn't realize their level of care was going to be as bad as.
Oh, I
as
thought you meant the
it was.
families duped them.
Oh, they do. Some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of them do because, you know, sad thing, when I worked in the hospital setting, we very often received people, and it was always around the holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
why?
Well, you know what? People were going home for the holidays, and then all of a sudden,
They're like,
no,
bring Aunt
serious.
Clara in the beginning of December.
No, it's-
Let's go get her in February.
Get her admitted
That's
for
exactly what
dehydration.
happens. That's exactly what happens.
Why, you cannot
because
give her
at-
water for like a week and then
No, but
bring her in?
during the
They're
They
all
holiday
buy a big enough
dehydrated.
turkey.
Everyone's
They're all
During the
dehydrated anyway.
holiday time, they try to
probably
discharge as
dehydrated.
many
Everybody- I don't-
patients
no-
as they
nobody drinks
possibly
enough water.
can. So when patients are being discharged from the hospital, now's a good time. Family, and I hate to say this, family wants to go away. Family wants to have a nice vacation. They want to spend the Christmas or the Thanksgiving holiday with their loved ones. What are we going to do about mom, dad,
Right. That's
grandma,
very
grandpa?
hard.
So the next thing you know, as a nurse working in the hospital, I get a call from the emergency room that we are sending you a new a new patient, new admission. Okay, and then you look at the person coming in, and you say, this person's not going home.
Can I ask you a
person's not
question though?
going home.
Sometimes isn't it a lot on the nursing homes? Like, don't they also have some things that you guys take into consideration?
Like what?
What do you mean a lot on the
She
nurse?
don't
I'm
play.
glad she's open.
She don't.
You know what I mean? I'm glad
What are you
she's-
talking
I
about?
am-
She said. Like
What are you talking
Well,
about?
something,
Bring it on.
Something that the like the nursing homes overcrowding.
They're not overcrowded.
Understaffed.
They're not.
They're not overcrowded. We have 15,000 beds on Long Island. We're not overcrowded. Next.
The homes aren't overcrowded in general.
The homes
but the
aren't
staff.
overcrowded.
There are empty beds everywhere. Next.
And what
Give me the next
about
one.
what about illnesses that they can't handle?
Then they're not allowed to admit them.
Correct.
And then
We
not
have-
allowed to, they shouldn't be bringing them into
They
the
won't be
nursing home.
admitted.
Well, we may not take
So they have
them.
to go to a hospital
We
then
may-
and become
well, you know what?
well enough. So a nursing home should be almost like a rehab where you have no real
But there
illnesses.
are a lot of
You
no,
mean
but there are a
acute.
lot of facilities.
Yes, nothing acute.
Some of us take acute illnesses.
Right, but there are some
Well, just because you're
facilities.
acute doesn't mean everybody.
If we're not allowed, no, but if we're not
Jesus,
able
that
to
was
meet
awful.
that person's
Wasn't that
need,
awful?
we can refer them elsewhere.
terrible.
Because there's only so many things that
Coming
we
from
can
you, it's
offer
awful for
to
you.
someone in a facility like where Danielle and I work. We have certain services. And if you look at the PRI, which is the patient review instrument that's completed in the hospital, and then it gets sent out to many different facilities, based on that PRI, we make a decision, is this someone we can accommodate their needs?
Right.
Can we accommodate that person's
Right,
needs?
you can give them
and
meds,
if
but
we
you're not
can't-
gonna take someone if they potentially need heart surgery.
Well, we can take them before they go to heart surgery.
Before they-
Yeah, of course.
Correct.
We're not going to take somebody, so the PRI, like Jules says, it gets filled out by the hospital, it gets sent to the nursing home. If it says that they need a mechanical ventilator for them to breathe,
Some
and the
places-
nursing home does not have a mechanical ventilator unit,
Obviously.
Right.
obviously we're going to refer them to a place that does.
Does have it.
It does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we can handle a lot of acute illnesses right in the nursing home.
Yes.
That is a huge decision that you and I didn't have to make with our moms, correct?
I know. We were very
Very
lucky.
fortunate. My mom did pass away in a hospital, but she was only there 10 days. And my dad's 86.
Nice.
And he says, they're carrying me out of my house. You know,
Good.
and, you know, he's at the point where he's still driving and stuff. But you think, what is he going to be like in a few years? How do you make that decision? Because he does not want to go into a nursing home.
My mom had to, and it got to the point where it's a very difficult choice for a family.
Sure.
But
Very
my
hard.
mom had to because
hard.
her dementia was getting so bad that it was almost becoming dangerous.
Right. Well,
Where
it
she
was
was doing stuff in the house, you know, like. If your mother's trying to like fry her underwear, it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like
No.
3 in the morning,
Right.
and she's trying to fry her underwear.
No.
Right.
That can start a fire.
Sure.
Frying
Mhm.
underwear.
Well,
I've never
that could
fried
kill her.
underwear,
No, but you know what?
but it's not a good right. Frying underwear doesn't work.
But if
No.
somebody called us,
It
we can
doesn't
help
work.
you with things to
I
do
understand.
to help keep her in the home longer, whether it be unplug the oven or take the knobs off the oven. Like Jules and I can help with that as well.
Take away her frying pan.
No.
I'm
So
guessing
she
it's
stops
probably
trying to
better
fry her
to
underwear.
steam underwear as a fireman.
It's healthier.
yeah.
No, but I have to tell you,
Because steamed
my
underwear has no
grandmother-
cholesterol at all. If
Right.
you
No, but
fry
she-
underwear, totally
Hold on,
makes
hold
it
on,
Takes a long
fatty.
time to
This
start
is
a fire. to
important
steam.
conversation over here.
If you're steaming underwear,
It's
as a
definitely
firefighter,
less cholesterol.
technically speaking, it's nutritionally
dangerous.
and less dangerous. So
But they're all wet.
Why are you adding to this conversation? Why wouldn't you let
Wouldn't
that
you?
just
Oh, you're
piddle
right.
out?
Okay, good point.
What's
Let
the
me-
word?
hold on.
Piddle out.
I
Don't encourage
Right?
us.
Piddle out.
Okay.
have to relay a question.
Yes,
from a
this
great
is-
comedian sitting to my left, Mary. Are there a required amount of nurses, assistants in a nursing home,
Oh, Jules
Per
and I.
patient?
Jules
or
and
do
I
they
about.
vary, or is it a state regulation?
Jules and I are about
This
to
is
have a battle.
This is Mary's question, and it's a beauty.
We
a
can't
Some
listen. We're not supposed to
some
talk
states-
about somebody
yes.
off camera, so we have the
I'm-
audience
Right,
know.
that's a
Mary, stick your
camera.
face in
I
here.
don't want them
And
to
Mary
think
is our next
Come here.
guest.
Come here, Mary.
Our
A little
camera's
further
low,
over.
Mary.
Well,
Camera's
no,
low.
not
Mary's
that
here.
way.
And Mary had this
Look,
question.
see the camera
Steve,
there?
go ahead.
See that camera? That's you. That's there you are.
That's
there
it.
you
That's
are.
it. Mary
So
Capone. She's
some-
our next
some
guest.
states
Oh, you have
actually
to get
do
a
have
mic. Oh, wait.
requirements.
She's gonna give you a mic.
Some states do have requirements. New York State does not have requirements.
Steve.
But
They
Jules
don't.
will. New York State does not. I would like to lobby for them, but Jules is going to tell you why she doesn't feel that they're necessary.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I missed this.
Because
We're
Jules,
Are we
Jules
talking
is-
about
minimums?
minimum staffing?
Yes.
Per patient,
Yes.
so to speak?
What do you
Yes.
feel?
You don't want
I
to
won't.
advocate for that because you don't want.
Because she's going to make a very good point right now that it's hard for me to fight.
Wait,
but
before you say that,
Good, bring it
we're
on.
talking
Come on, bring it on.
RNs
I wanna
because
say-
I
I
know
wanna
my
be her when
daughter
I
is
grow
now,
up.
by the way, working in a nursing home. They
Another
have
question
to have
To get her all. she's
one
so
RN
RN in the whole
angry, right?
building. Yeah, but that's ridiculous. you
Actually,
have 400
that's
people
not
in a
even-
building.
That's
I'm
not
just
even
saying.
the requirement.
I know how big it is, though.
In long-term care, you need one registered nurse to be there for at least 8 continuous hours. That's it.
For how many
That's it.
patients?
Yeah, but that's
The
terrible.
whole building.
That's what she's
that's
doing.
Crazy.
For the whole building.
That's what she's
Now,
doing.
That's
The
crazy.
thing is,
That's
let's
not.
say on an 11 to 7 shift, there is not an RN and something bad goes down. It could be the director of nursing, could be the assistant director, it could be another supervisor who lives within X many miles is required to come back to the facility.
But here's
to
another
do
thing,
an
though.
assessment.
You mentioned that there has to be a certain level of health when they're in the nursing home. If you have a lot of sick people, ventilators, you're gonna have more RNs there, then, no?
No. You would think that they were supposed to have more RNs. You would hope that the nursing home was not so money hungry that they just kept keeping the monies from themselves.
That's what
but
I
they
was
would
talking
start
about, 'cause
to
they're
actually
privately
pay
owned.
Business,
for
yeah.
RNs and RNs are the ones who do the assessments. LPNs cannot do assessments. You want the registered nurse in the nursing home. So you'd hope that they would see that we have, what would you call it, acuity? And that we would have more nurses in there. And not because they're mandated to do that, but because they care about their residents.
You know, good points.
But was I completely off base when I was saying that? Because I've experienced this before, where someone is sort of out of money, and they don't do as much for them.
No,
they
that's not
want
true.
I mean, I'm not saying that they would literally harm someone or cause them to pass away, but they do want that bed for another person that has a viable bank account and
No,
a
but you know
home
what?
they
We
can
cannot
take.
discriminate against
And
what your finances are.
And the people on the floor don't know your finances. Like
Correct.
when you come in, there's not a label on you that says this guy has money, he has money, Mary has no money. We don't know
They
as,
can
when we're
find-
working.
Right.
I mean, they can
Right.
find
But
out.
Why don't
what
you
what
pick
nurse's
on
aide
you?
is going to go look for that to
But
find
what
out?
about
We're not going to do
administration?
that.
I'm referring to admin. I'm talking
Hold on,
about
Tommy. Hold
I'm
on.
talking about
I'm
the
not
owners.
talking about
No.
looking at their records. I'm saying by looking at what they're bringing them, their family, how they're I mean, you could probably figure out that somebody has money as
No,
opposed to
I
not
don't
having
know.
money.
I don't
It
know.
should-
Look at me. Look at what I'm wearing. Do you think I have money?
It
No.
shouldn't influence the care that somebody receives.
Do you think? Do you
No.
think not having them privatized would be an answer, or is that you don't think that matters? It would be worse.
Well,
Mary has money, by the way.
I told you this
Let's
before.
just straighten that out.
My mother-in-law
She's
was
still
in.
not on the show. I just want you to know that.
I apologize.
Sorry.
Let me know when you're done, Mary. Know when you're done. I was going to bring up a good point.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Go ahead, John.
My mother-in-law was in a nursing
Holly
home,
Patterson, right?
Holly Patterson, which was county run.
Yep.
County run. Horrible. And she
Really?
was in that nursing home
Where was it located?
because she was hit by a truck on a
Uniondale.
bicycle
Uniondale.
when her kids were young.
Go Google that
So
one.
her kids had no money, no resources. They took her from the hospital and threw her in this nursing home. And my wife had no choice. And then
That's
when they
sad.
got old enough to take her out,
That's sad.
that was her world.
Right.
That was the people she knew.
Right.
Now, even though the care was horrible, she didn't want to leave.
Right,
They,
that makes sense.
they finally got her into a pretty nice home
What
in
is that, like Stockholm
Freeport
syndrome, sort of?
on Merrick Road,
They're her
and she
friends.
To a
passed
certain
away a
extent.
few weeks later.
Well, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
Stockholm, but it is her friends, and those are
Yeah.
her peers, and you don't want
Right.
to really leave them, even
You
if
know?
somewhere's
Right.
nicer. Those are the people
But
she grew
Tommy,
to care
every
about.
time we visit her, I could see my wife. She got her whole demeanor changed walking into that
horrible,
place.
it's horrible.
She did that for years.
How old
every
was your,
week.
was
But
your
can I just get
mother-in-law
back
there?
to one more thing?
She was there.
She wants to get
Oh
back
yeah.
to
What, let me answer this question. I would say 30 years.
How much?
30 years
She was where for 30 years?
in a nursing home.
Really?
Yeah. She got hit by a truck when Paula was 10. How old is my wife now? She's 82. She doesn't watch, don't worry.
You better sleep in the shed.
Good for you.
tonight. You better sleep in the
Go ahead,
shed
what were you
tonight,
gonna say?
Buster.
I was going to say that I just wanted Jules to elaborate about why the staffing isn't always so important, because
Sorry, Jules.
Jules makes a very valid point.
Go.
Well, first of all, no disrespect to licensed practical nurses, but I'm a proponent of every nurse being a registered nurse, because I think you get the assessments, you get the higher level of skill. LPNs, again, no disrespect, they're task-oriented, and ultimately the registered nurse is responsible for everything the LPN does. In terms of staffing, I am one for quantity does not always bring quality.
Oh, absolutely. I
It's
agree
the
with
quality. So you could have a lot of staff there, but you know what? Are you getting what you paid for?
Right.
No. You have a lot of people standing around still doing nothing. So I don't think necessarily quantity and having staffing, preset staffing levels is the answer. It's the quality that you're really looking for. And there are some nurses that, if they have a good team with their nursing assistants, they can run circles around a lot of other people.
It's
But
a
it-
super hard job. I'm
It
sorry.
is a
What
super
you guys
hard
do
job,
is insane.
but it starts.
I'm not a nurse. My
it's-
job's not that hard.
No, but it
What
starts.
do you do?
Not a nurse.
that. She works in
Danielle
the
is,
she cooks the meals.
Will you have to kill me or something?
No, she's
It's like a big.
Tell them what you
I'm a
do.
dietitian.
She's
Dietitian.
registered
You're gonna
dietitian.
kill me like a Navy SEAL? You're gonna murder me or something?
So you do know about steaming underwear.
You're a
it's-
dietitian.
It's nutritionally sound.
So you work with, like, if a person isn't supposed to have stuff in their diet. You make sure that they're set up the right way.
Well, that's not, yes, but in a nursing home, that's not really how it works.
But you're not
yes.
holding down a screaming patient, which is.
I do
what
not
Which
hold
we
down a
shouldn't be
screaming.
doing either,
What do
because
you
that
do?
would
Called
be a form
abuse.
of a restraint.
That'd be called abuse.
I was with Tom on a trip upstate. He had a burger and fries. Your thoughts?
If it was
burger and
McDonald's, I'm all
fries.
for it.
Oh, all right.
Do you eat?
So what do you do?
eat McDonald's?
Oh my God, the Big Mac is the best sandwich
I've
that
done
was
a-
ever created.
I've done a lot of different
I'm
things.
kind of with you on that. That's good.
In-N-Out Burger.
In my career as a nurse,
It's all right.
I started in acute care and then eventually went to long-term care. But I've held many roles, from being a staff nurse to a preceptor who welcomes new staff
You've
in.
dealt with patients in like the
Oh,
nitty gritty
absolutely.
way, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No,
I was just
no.
curious.
I've been at the
And
bedside.
then you set up some munchies for them.
I do nothing all day.
Munchies.
You couldn't insult her anymore.
I know.
She
It's
handles it.
okay.
Oh my God, you do such important
I
work.
know.
And you set up munchies
It's okay.
for
It's all
them.
Thank you,
It's
Jules.
all good. He has an
She
ugly
was-
outfit today.
She was
I don't know what
kidding
to
with
say.
me.
Jules.
She said she does nothing. I was just
No,
playing
she
along
does
with her.
important work. My
Jules.
daughter,
Yes.
Jules,
she's
thank you for the patient assessment and the care. And Danielle, thank you for the nachos. That was very nice of you.
Listen, if Danielle
You're
could make one human person live a better life in a
Right.
nursing home, she did a lot.
And that
You
is
know what I wanted to
correct.
ask you
That is
guys?
Back in her
correct.
good graces, Tom.
Not really.
That's
You're not
correct.
trying to do that.
You know
That
what I
is
wanted to
correct.
ask you guys?
Yes.
Laughter
God
and
almighty.
doing comedy shows
You know, if I
in
insult
the
her,
nursing
I'm
homes.
insulting her. If I'm
Pat
nice
does
to
a
her, I'm
wonderful
kissing her
job
ass.
at the facility he's at with making them laugh. How important is that to bring in new faces and do stuff like that,
another
entertain
question.
them?
Oh, it's so important.
Ask another one.
It is.
It's amazing. And entertainment is, and therapeutic recreation is really just the heart of what goes on
No,
in a
because if
nursing
you
home.
think
Yeah.
about it, what
It's
do
amazing.
residents look for in a nursing home? They look for socialization, they look for good food, and they look for good activities.
Yeah.
That's what
They
good
need-
care,
yeah.
socialization, good activities, and good food.
Well,
That's what they
They
want.
need to look forward to something,
Yeah.
which is really a lot.
I'll tell you something that I did that was bad. First of all, we go to the nursing home once a month, and I'm gonna be honest. Not the nursing home. There are some weeks that my family's in the backyard. They're all in the pool. The baby's there. Everybody's hey, and I gotta go to the St. Albans Veterans Hospital in Queens, and it's in the ass end of Queens. It's middle of nowhere. Takes you whatever 45 minutes to get there.
It's all right.
And I'm honest. I'm not. Some days I'm like, I gotta go.
in
Right?
Yeah.
I get there, start pushing the patients around, start talking to them, and then when I leave, I go, what? You know, I'm leaving, and
You're staying.
they're in there. So last month we show up, and they have. I walk in. Hey, we're doing a show. I walk into the recreation room, and the recreation director's sitting there, and there's nobody in the room. We're running late. There's no patients in the room. And I look at him and I go, bro, did you make an announcement? Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. No, I brought Maureen Lang. I brought a headliner, a major headliner to this.
I love
so I
Maureen.
said, he goes, oh, and they have a barbecue today. So anybody that can physically move is out of there.
At the
Right.
The
barbecue.
VFW post somewhere in Lynbrook, whatever. They got on a bus, all out of there. So now I'm pissed. I'm like, you know what? I brought Maureen Lang in. I brought this other comic down. I'm paying a few dollars for the expenses. We brought fruit. A whole family came, brought fruit. So then I said to him, all right, what floors can we go up to? We went up and we grabbed a few guys. Some of my regulars, a few staff came down. It was the best time I've ever had there and they ever had. Because the ones who couldn't go out were there.
Oh, yes.
And you know what happens sometimes to nurses? I know they do this. They don't want to deal with this one guy. He is totally out of it. They don't want to deal. Oh yeah, bring him down
Yep,
to the show.
100%.
And you know what? We talked to them the whole way down. They're not laughing. They don't even open their eyes. But when I left there, I go, shame on me. That was the best show we did here. Because
right.
those guys really
The ones
needed
who
it.
needed it.
They couldn't go out to the nice barbecue, you know?
Yeah.
So
And
anyway.
just because he can't open his eyes or respond doesn't
know.
mean he's not hearing you.
That's
I
correct.
know. I know.
I mean, we say
A lot
all
of
the
them
time,
would have
keep
so much
talking.
fun. Like I've done that show, and so many of them are like, "That was so much fun," and you were funny. They
hey,
didn't
hey,
do
but-
it. They did, but they just sat
Excuse
there.
me 1 second.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
Bobby,
sure, it's your
Bobby,
show.
do you have a picture of the old guy from the nursing home that I sent you? Here he is. Put that on the
Oh,
screen.
I saw that. That was on
okay.
Facebook, right?
This gentleman, and I put a video up there.
was super
I was
fast.
wheeling him back
Yeah,
to
that was
Thomas.
Was this a
Thomas.
setup?
Yeah.
How fast was
Are you
Bobby?
allowed
with
to
that?
take that
Bobby's
picture?
fantastic back
Oh my
there.
God, Bobby, you're amazing.
This is the only picture we gave him.
Bobby, you have a picture of me with my
listen.
first cousin.
Thomas, he was leaving the room, and he said to me, John, I said to him, how was the show? Or I said something to him about memory. He goes, oh, I forget. He goes, I think I'm 101. And I said to him, listen, I go, I'm 60 and I'm forgetting things, you know. And he pronounced his name in a beautiful French, Thomas Pierre, blah, blah, blah. And I said, how was the show? And he went on with this eloquent description of something.
Wow.
It wasn't the comedy show.
No, it wasn't.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Once
But
I
he-
was on the
oh, he
French
goes, it's
coast
just
and
whatever.
it was beautiful.
But
Take me back to my room.
I walked him back to the
Like,
room.
what happened to my show?
I wheeled him into the little TV room they have on the floor with some guys, you know, a few guys that were really out of it. And he looked at me and he just gave me this look. And I went,
That's
I mean,
it.
you know,
It's all
it
good.
worked today. You know, it just worked. So thanks for showing that. I didn't send you the group picture, I don't think, this month. I should have sent that to you. So, ladies,
There you go.
we are going to say goodbye. Thank you for coming in.
Pleasure was
I
ours.
didn't do anything at
Now,
work
Danielle
anyway,
and
so it
Jules,
doesn't
if
matter. I was
Tom-
giving out nachos.
If you ever encounter Tom,
Yes.
if you encounter Tom in one of your residences somewhere along the way, will you treat him with
With
the
the dignity and
utmost
respect.
Not
dignity?
her.
He
She's not going to
deserves.
treat with
She
anything,
would.
you know.
Danielle?
She would.
She would.
She puts on a game face at work, and she's awesome. I know it. I can tell
Utmost
it.
dignity and respect.
Yes.
I'm actually not sure about him.
Oh, no, wait a
Not
minute.
John, Tom.
Oh, come on.
Remember those, what did you want? M&M's?
Oh, we
what
got
did
the
you
good
want to
picture.
eat?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Hold
no,
on,
you
guys.
can't.
Hold on. Show the group picture.
Oh, it's
So this is all. Look, we had a decent amount, you
Yeah,
know.
it's
And
great.
if you can see the girls on the right, that's the Schwank family. They brought the fruit. They cut it up, and you gotta cut it up small. She did a wonderful job. I didn't have to worry about it. It's one less thing I had to worry about. We had Maureen Langan. Oh my God, who was the other comic? I'm going blank. Oh my God. Anyway, it was a great day, and thanks, Bobby. Thanks for that. All right, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was fun to meet you.
Thank
We're
you.
going to go to Life Hack.
Thank you.
Listen. This is a LifeVac. It's easy to use and can save a life in an airway emergency. LifeVac is proven to save lives, and it's as simple as place, push, pull. I've had one in my kitchen and one in my car for years, and you should have one in yours. Choking is a leading cause of death. 5,000 people a year die from choking, one child every 5 days, and it can happen in just 4 minutes. There's no time to wait. If you have children in your home, please consider your LifeVac today.
And we're back from Life Vac. We got to get Mary on here. That's okay. Bobby, can you show some of those flyers for the shows coming up, and we'll get Mary situated here. Do you have the new flyer for this one? I think I sent it to you today. I'm sorry. Throw that one up there. This. Over 2 seasons. Playing at St. Margaret's. We have Chris Roach is coming to my elementary school.
Wow.
We have John Butera. We have somebody else. Who else is up there? Oh, Angela Cobb. So it's going to be a fun night. That is
Angela
September
Cobb's
27th.
funny.
She's
Angela
funny.
Cobb is funny.
What else we got, Bobby? What are the flyers? Shows coming up. Laughter Saves Lives. We have, all right, put the save the date up there. That's okay. We have our gala on November 20, what does it say up there? So November 23rd?
I was busy.
Yes, you've been on it. We have Teddy Smith this year, Leanne Lord,
Hilarious.
Tugboat Manny, John LaRoque is MC, and we're giving Megan Friend, a newer comic, funny, a guest spot, and the flyer is hysterical because they have us all in baseball uniforms. It's a cute flyer. Is that all we got, Bob? That's all I have. Thank you, sir. So we have our guest here. Mary Capone. Are we balanced? Steve? Mary, move to your right. We have Mary Capone here.
Oh, you want to move over?
Here's another
Steve,
shame
you
on.
moving over a little, Steve?
Here,
Because we had an extra person.
That's good. Here's another shame on John LaRoque here. And I'm going to apologize to you in front of
You and all the
everyone.
other men in my life, go ahead.
What was
Start.
that? What was that?
You and all the other men in my life, go ahead.
Yes, but I'm going to
start.
apologize to you. Maureen Langan said to me, hey, John, Mary Capone, take a good look at her. And I said, I saw Mary a few years ago. She was good. I thought she needed some more work, whatever. She goes, no, you should take another look at her. Maureen Langan's telling me I'm looking. right?
Yes.
If Tom Daddario is telling me, I'm looking.
Thank you.
Okay. So I said, sure, sure. And I messaged you probably a day or two later. And the first thing I like to do is, Maureen Langan said good things about you. That's nice to know.
What are you kidding? I'm thrilled that she even said.
Yeah, that's nice to know. And then I said to her, hey, maybe she could be. We were talking about, we were fooling around, kidding around, laughing back and forth. And then I said, why don't you come down to the show and hang out, to watch or whatever. And then I said, well, in my head, my little Johnny L. head, maybe could be a guest. What do you do for a living? Like, what do you do other than comedy? I didn't think she only did comedy, which is probably an insult in its own, but she kind of knew. Most comics aren't. So I said, what do you do for a living? And Mary said,
I'm a mother.
Stay-at-home mom. So, clap.
Should have got a job.
No, that's not. But what I'm saying, and I want to ask you, what I'm saying is my initial thought was not that. Like, what does she do? That is the most important job.
Thank you.
And shame on me for not. My mom was a stay-at-home mom until we got older. Then she got a job in a local bakery. But my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Now, back in the day, I think because of the finances, that might have been a little easier.
Right.
You must have a very rich husband. I don't know.
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband. Oh, look at this! Look at that smile when she said ex-husband. Did you see this show?
I did. No, that's.
So anyway, Mary. So I thought, what an interesting topic for a bunch of stunads over here. We're always sitting here, all guys. What does Pat call us? A bunch of schleps, a bunch of whatever.
Stugats.
These are the rolliest chairs I've ever been on in my life.
Rolly?
I gotta tell you, I can't. Every time I breathe, the
still.
chair rolls.
Steve ended up in the bathroom before.
Sit still. That's where I like to be.
So anyway, what I was thinking, and you tell me if I'm wrong for thinking this.
What you're thinking. I'll tell you what you're thinking.
Oh, thank you.
You go.
Wow,
You
you
go.
guys
This is
You're
interesting.
Is this your wife?
Yeah.
You're picturing Mary
Yes.
when all the commuters on a Monday morning
Yes.
are on the LIRR,
Yes.
going to Manhattan, driving the other way.
Right.
You're picturing Mary waking up about 10, sitting on the couch.
Well,
maybe
no,
watching-
not when the kids were young.
Are you looking in my window?
How old are the
No,
kids,
no,
Mary?
Tom told me this.
How old are the kids?
Kids? I have one.
How old?
How did you start a
19.
story?
19.
Like you
But hear me
started a
out.
story.
I did. I lived
You
in
were
Valley
like,
Street.
call
There was
me
no bus
Ishmael. Like
service.
if this was
I can't
Moby
even
Dick,
I can't even believe
You'd
you'd
it.
be like, call me Ishmael. And then the guy comes over and
Excuse
goes,
me?
wait, I go fishing a lot. Let me
narrator.
tell you about my fishing.
Gentlemen.
Oh,
It's about me.
He didn't even get. It was like as if he read Moby Dick and he went, call me Ishmael. And you went, I've gone fishing before. Hey, Mary, let me ask you a question. Let the guy finish.
I also semi-interrupted John. But, but Tom, I want to say this. I am going to speak from my research at what John is probably assuming. Because he's from that old school, Queens.
No, I wasn't going to get that from him. I didn't get that feeling.
No, but I'm going to speak for what's going on,
Yeah.
what he's really thinking.
Hurry up.
Mary,
Wait, but-
he's thinking as a stay-at-home mom, you're sitting there watching whatever, The View or the Today Show, whatever,
never.
sitting there eating a big whatever,
Nachos?
M&M's,
Sounds like what
nachos.
Steve does. This is what you do now.
I know.
This is what he
It's a
does.
day in the life of
Yeah,
Steve.
he's
is
a
actually true.
stay-at-home bum.
When I know darn well that John's limited view of what you're doing is completely off base, you're doing a lot. Because I did some research today on what a stay-at-home mom does, and I know you're doing a lot.
Oh, thanks. Thank
Is that it or?
Hey, bro, you're in trouble, not me.
Oh, okay, good. All right, Mary.
You
so
thought
tell
it,
me,
I've just
when
seen
my
your
son-
child was, let's say, 4 years old,
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay.
what was your day like as a stay-at-home mom? Were you the typical
Right.
stay-at-home mom, or?
No. All right.
No.
'Cause this is where I get some of my comedy.
Okay.
All right. I have multiple sclerosis.
Do
So,
you?
Yes.
I did not know
So I battle fatigue, and when he was 2, it was bad because I got pain on top of it, and at the same time, I'm having early intervention come in because he's being diagnosed as ADHD. So I'm like, really? What's the joke here, God?
And how-
I'm
oh, I
like
was
this,
gonna ask
one
that.
eye open, and I would take a shot once a week
Tequila?
of an
Oh.
I wish interferon, which would make me feel like I had the flu once a week.
Oh.
So now I have a kid running around like he's shot out of a cannon.
And you feel like I have the flu.
I feel like I have the flu once a week.
wow.
I'm like, what's the joke? I don't get it.
You know what? I could kind of understand as a grandpa. Bobby, can you get that picture up there?
Watch, Bobby.
Because I'm exhausted
Unbelievable.
some days
Corey's
when I'm
so
alone
fast,
with him.
man.
Obviously.
Now, when you were that age, but you were sick now, you're
I
saying.
was 28,
It
30
had,
years old.
not that one, the one with
When
the,
did you
the-
get diagnosed,
the kid
Mary?
running around in the
25.
store.
That's why I also only had one child, because I felt great during the pregnancy, but after
Oh
a
my
year
God.
after,
I can't
you run a
imagine.
risk of like one of your like the worst episode you could have. So
So you
my
don't want
ex-
to do it again.
didn't want to do it again. He
Right.
was
And then you'd have to have sex
the
with
whole
him
other
again.
things like yeah, and I want to take the gamble.
That's-
He
yeah.
was just nonstop, and I'm like, by the time I even had a thought of another child, he was 7.
That's
I'm like,
okay.
that's an only kid.
That's
I can't-
okay.
I don't care.
No, you know what?
One
My
and
kids are
done.
spread out every 7 years, my 3 kids.
I had no kids.
No, that's
One-
good, Barry, because you got a built-in babysitter. Like the third one is like a built-in babysitter.
Oh, that's
It was good.
good.
No, it was good.
Still good.
No,
All right, so let
thanks.
me go back to this now.
So
okay.
yeah, so it was tiring.
I did not
for
know that.
Yeah.
So that was tiring on top of having a 3-year-old, 4-year-old is exhausting. So did you have help?
My parents were very good,
See,
but
that's me
you know,
too.
they say having a regiment for these type of kids is very good. So this is where I look back. I go, I can't believe I did this. We lived in Valley Stream. There was no bus service, so I would get up at 7, walk him to try to get some energy out for him, and then come back, go for a swim, and then lay down, and then pick him up and start the insanity again.
So you were able to work out a little bit.
Yeah, I had to. It was like a saving grace. It was, you know.
It's
It's
probably
good for
therapeutic too.
endorphins and
Endorphins, keeping my muscles, like trying to stay ahead of the game with
Sure.
the disease and everything. But every day I picked him up, it was, you know, Mrs. Dolan, can we talk to you? I mean, the kid was in trouble every day.
Every
Now,
day.
correct me.
But which is tough enough, but you didn't feel well on top of
Oh,
it.
please. And then I bring him home. I mean, it's not supposed to be a sob story, but we'd have, I would say, the play dates, they'd come for one time. Because talk about, that's mine. And he's, you know,
Right, right.
bam! Yeah.
How is he now?
Johnny's not going to play
How
with
is he
us.
now?
Well, good God, from 4 to 19 was hell.
Right.
But I still managed to get dinner on the table and go food shopping and do all that.
Do
you know,
everything, yeah.
'cause I felt like I was a stay-at-home mom. So that at least was my part to do. He was an iron worker, so I
Right.
had dinner on the table. He did his part. I'm not going to knock him.
Right.
You know, mowed the lawn. He took him off my hands as soon as he walked in the door. So
Right.
it worked out okay. But
You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't mean to bring that up. I didn't know that you were, you know, sick or because that's.
Well, she's not. I don't think that
hold
people
on.
with.
No, kidding.
I don't think that people with MS
It's-
look at it like that they're sick.
Some do, and they tend not to do well.
right.
Well,
You have to stay
Right.
But I mean,
positive.
isn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
Correct
I
me.
have MS, but MS doesn't have me.
Well, that's
That
great.
seems to be the mindset.
But I mean, and I'm not saying that there's anything less serious about what you have as opposed to what anyone else.
See if
could
you
have
you,
wrong
you
with it.
embarrassed me now. See if you could dig yourself out of this one.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
see if I can dig
Go
myself
ahead.
out of this one. Oh, if someone has like obviously like pancreatic cancer,
Right,
You know,
right.
they can't just say
I don't
cancer's
have
not
right.
going to have me. I'm going to have the
Yes.
cancer
Yeah.
because there are
I know.
so like maybe people don't know because I don't know. Is MS something that it hits everyone differently and also
Different levels, I
could,
guess.
you could be more diligent about diet and exercise
Absolutely.
and be able to get it more under control
control.
than
Without a doubt.
obviously like a person that has pancreatic cancer. They can't just go, I'm going to do push-ups and
Mary,
get,
No, you absolutely.
You look great.
A lifestyle change.
You look great. Whatever you're doing, you look great.
Thank you. I stay in front of it. You know, I used to smoke cigarettes
Right.
right.
and still exercise. So I quit when my son
Right.
was about 2. But you know, exercise.
How about weed?
Diet,
Does it help? Because I know somebody
tried
with
it.
MS that smokes a lot of weed.
I don't
Oh,
like
cannabis?
it. I don't like it.
They like
I
it, it
do
helps
take
them
a
sleep.
mild pain medication. You know, every
Okay.
3 times a day.
Oxycontin 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Yeah, a little Darvocet,
that'll
you know,
help
shit like
anybody.
that.
Something,
Okay. No. But the weed, I said, all right, I'll try it for the pain. When I tell you I heard that clock ticking, I was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
no.
Some people
no.
can handle it. I can't handle it.
I
I,
can't
Yeah,
handle it.
haven't
can-
done it in 1,000 years.
I
but-
can
No,
handle
thanks.
it.
Oh, you can
you
handle
probably
it.
can.
Tom,
You're
Tom
handling it
thing.
right now.
actually diagnosed himself with MS so he could start
I
smoking.
know,
That's
he's
right.
got
You're
the card
handling-
and
that's right.
everything.
You're handling
Yeah.
it right now, aren't
Free
you?
weed.
Yeah.
Is that why you were asking? me,
MS
can I
is
get
like
an-
for Mrs. Pothead. That's what I call myself.
Oh, that's what my cousin used to say. He goes, "You'll never forget it, Ms. Mary Capone, MS."
Wow.
Oh, that's.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I wondered if it
This
is.
went in a whole different
First of all,
direction.
I'm glad you didn't. I mean, I actually put it in my act, MS. I said,
Well, you should. It's you.
It's you.
I said, I was
Yeah.
diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which pissed me off. They couldn't have caught that when it was just one.
Oh, you had to get multiples.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
just get one. You had to get multiple.
Someone
That's
dropped
funny.
the ball.
Yeah, why can't I get multiple orgasms?
That's funny.
I get multiple sclerosis instead.
I know. But I didn't want to say that one because my mother comes and I want to say that.
Well, then
Oh,
Then do-
your mother.
Come on, your mother
I
never
was
had.
just gonna say
Your mother never had.
multiple orgasms.
La 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 la.
I can't.
Your mother would laugh at that.
Your mom would laugh
Was
at
she
that.
very
Back to my
religious?
son. Yes.
Dude, my mother.
She is very,
Yes,
very
they are.
religious.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
My mother used to go to shows, and then when everybody was walking out, my mother would stand up by the front door, and because I curse a lot in my act, and she would stand up by the front
Thomas!
door, and when people were walking out, she would go, "He doesn't talk like that at home. He doesn't talk like that at home."
That's
I'm
funny.
57 years
She
old.
had to apologize
She had
to
to
the
apologize.
audience.
She apologized to everybody walking out.
That is so
My
funny.
mother
I'm
made
sorry,
me
John.
swear
I don't-
to take
I'm
a
not-
joke out.
Oh,
She
my
goes, if your
God.
father's coming to the show, you got to take that last joke
Oh.
out.
So now let me ask you this:
And I
do
had to
you,
respect him.
do you do the same act when your parents are there when they're not there?
Just
You get a
that
little
one joke
dirty,
I
just
take.
the one joke.
Just the one. That's
So
it.
okay, so you, because my mom would, she would laugh. My mom was a laugher. I always heard her in the audience. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I used to love that.
How much your mom
My
a couple
dad.
My dad is not a big laugher, but my mom.
Your mom
I would-
your dad appreciates comedy though.
Oh my
dad
God,
did.
he loves it.
Mary, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because
That's why you're
I'm
here.
defending John
Good.
right now because I know John is not sexist in the way he looks at things,
Or sexy. Or sexy.
or sexy in the way he
You
looks.
missed that. You missed that.
See, he's not sexist in the way he looks at things, and he's not sexy in the way he looks.
Right.
So we're covering all that.
We're going to do
Yes.
no comment.
But
He's
I
very
had to help you with that one.
yes, thank you, John.
asexual.
See, you're here to create those.
I know.
I had to help you
I'm
with
j-
that.
yeah,
one.
You
Go
exude
ahead.
no sex at any level.
Throwing plant feeder on me to help me out. No, but I think that a stay-at-home mom is an admirable, amazing job.
Absolutely.
But in
Hard.
John's defense, right? I've said the same thing, where it's a normal question to say, "What do you do for a living?"
Yes.
Rather than someone, maybe, perhaps we should say,
Do you stay at home and do nothing? No, I'm kidding, Mary. I'm kidding.
what do you do? Like, because
Right.
say no, just what do you do? Because if you say
do
to
you do?
someone, "What do you do?" Like if someone says to me, "What do you do?" I don't go, "Oh, I sometimes I put some feta cheese on my salad." You don't. That's not a. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do is a broad
How do you
question.
justify staying home,
You know what?
Mary?
But it's
But
just
then-
a common...
How do you justify
Yes, and
staying
yeah,
home?
Hello, what are you? Hello, Billy? My ex-husband? Is that you?
So it's
Hello,
not.
Billy.
That's it. No.
So John's not making a mistake by saying, "What do you do for a living?"
No, because
Because
everybody says
it-
Let
that.
me tell you something. You hear the joke of I'm a chef, I'm a financier, I'm a launderer,
Right,
I'm
right.
a,
Right.
You don't know what someone
Dietitian.
necessarily does, right? Like someone could be a physical trainer and they don't go to an office every day. And I just feel like if I go into a store, right? I go over to a girl, doesn't matter if she's 15, her hair's purple, and she has earrings all over her face. I say,
It's against the law.
are you the manager? Like I don't say, "Can I speak to the manager?"
Right.
I try to be.
right.
I try
Make
to
everybody
be.
eat right.
Very good.
I try to go
Even
in and
playing
say, "Are
field.
you the manager?"
I don't do that.
Rather than
I don't
going,
do that.
because you
I
should.
look for the fat guy
You
with
should.
the mustard stains in his shirt.
Because when you go in and you go,
I don't think.
guy.
I look for the guy with the Tom.
I don't think the
Listen, I
15-year-old
know
is
not
not.
non-fitting pants and the.
Do you really go up
I
to
the guy that
That's
looks like
nice
all
that
the
you do
hope is
that.
gone out of his face,
Yeah.
that's the guy you say, "You
I
must
look
be
for
the
the
manager."
picture up there, and I'm like, yeah, that's him.
That's
Look at
the
Listen,
manager.
did things calm down when he started working in
Oh,
Friday?
we're back to you.
We're back. It's always back to
Oh, back
me.
to Mary. Of course.
I
we're back.
do have a job, a part-time job, doing billing for a woman who's a clothing buyer, but it's very part-time.
You don't have to explain to us.
I'm just telling
Mary.
you what I
What's you?
do.
No, that's also what
Then I
you
eat
do. But
nachos, watch Dr. Phil.
your son is older now. So when
Still-
you're
who's still making his lunch?
but the thing is that
Wouldn't eat.
but it's a big difference when your son was 4, you might not have been able to go do that billing stuff for that woman because you were busy.
Or even the comedy.
You want.
I always wanted to try it, but it was. I took a
You
class.
have. You
and I
have
had
the
to put
right.
it
You have the
back burner.
right body language for stand-up, and I'm not just saying that because you know what I'm saying. She has
Somebody
that.
told me I move my hands too much.
No,
They
you're
say, keep
not.
it by your side.
Screw
and
you.
I'm like this.
Go like this.
Don't
Screw
listen
you.
to
It's
them.
absurd.
Well, that's
You
where
know
I learned
what?
to find
You know
my
what
voice
you
instead
should-
of everybody.
Let me tell you what you should do.
Tom is like, your joke's
Let me
up.
tell you what
Oh,
you should do.
sorry.
All right, this is what I think you should do. Don't friggin' listen to anybody.
I know.
I don't agree with you.
Oh,
Listen to
stop.
everybody and take
That
Yes,
might be.
yes.
That makes
But
sense.
When you're just
But,
starting,
I mean,
you don't
listen,
know where to go.
Look, you don't want
I
to.
am finding my way though.
You
Because
are finding
I have
your
people
way.
saying, "Say the stroke like that," and I went, "No, that's their voice."
Yeah, but
That's
you don't.
right.
Not mine.
No,
Right.
you're
But you don't-
finding
And
your way.
also,
I mean,
Mary,
listen.
Look like this.
also, Mary,
That's
you're
right,
going to
Mary.
hear over time. You're going to hear everybody's going to be telling you stuff, but then you're going to. Don't listen to him. And the same person is going to say, don't listen to that guy because, and over time you're going to learn who to listen to
And what
who
I'm
to not
comfortable
listen.
with.
But Mary, I'm
And-
not talking about common sense. I'm not talking about you have a mic stand. Excuse me, John. You have a mic stand in front of you. Here's the mic stand, and you take the mic out of the mic stand, but you leave it right there in front
Oh,
of your
I've
face
seen
while
that
you talk.
recently. I'm going.
So yeah, that's
I know.
not
the
that.
common,
That's not
the
your voice.
fundamentals.
No, but that's
The
not your voice.
fundamentals.
What
not
I'm
your
saying is,
voice.
You
If
stole my video the other
if
day.
you move your arms around when you're talking, and
That's
your
you.
and your
That's you.
hands
That's
are all
me.
over the
That's
place,
me too.
right? Then that's you. I don't think that. I think being you. The problem I think sometimes with some comics is, and this happened to me. You want to be someone that you're not. Like some comics might want to be like a Mitch Hedberg type, right?
I don't
It's
have
not
anybody
me.
in my head, but I do
I'm
wanna be
not.
funny all
I'm
the
not
time.
Mitch Hedberg. I'm not
As
going to
funny
be
all the
him.
time.
As-
You might want to have more energy if you don't have as much energy as this other comic. But that's not you. So
As-
it's like I had a teacher once told me, if you're a lion, be a lion. If you're a flower, be a flower. So it's more a matter of
I'm a
just
flower.
being who you are. That's what I think.
Well,
I think I'm still on that journey, and like you were saying, I'll take a little, somebody
Yeah.
said, and I'll ask your guys' opinion, to be more engaging with the audience, not necessarily picking people out, but
Here's what.
looking like,
this is my opinion.
and not very robotic, you know what
Right.
I mean?
But
It
Mitch
just goes
Hedberg wore
ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
sunglasses and just talked into a microphone.
But that worked for him.
Right.
Right. That worked.
Yeah.
Right. That worked. And Megan, I like because she's
Yes,
different.
yes.
Her delivery's different. It's very dry.
Yes,
She's
it's
different.
very-
But
yes.
I always tell comics, doesn't mean I like to play with the audience. Doesn't mean that you have to though feel the audience. Like let them know that you know they're there. Whatever you're doing, you do it. You do it.
I do it because it's
Do
me.
you?
It-
Do you make
Older-
eye contact?
I-
and you
Oh, yeah.
go around the room?
I like the audience.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
a weird
That's-
thing
I
for a
like
comic.
the audience. Right.
Right. And
Right.
I started it, and I kind of like it too because I told a joke about dating, and I just threw something out, and I'm like, "Oh, you too," and, and it
connected.
got
Right.
another laugh, and I'm like,
Connected.
"Oh,
Yeah.
okay, let me try to."
let me
you know,
tell you something,
feel my
Mary.
way around this.
I am a part-timer, but
Oh, Frank Viola.
there was
know
a
you're
comedian
brother,
years ago,
Trish.
as a student of comedy.
Years ago, that was
I
Tom
s-
Daddario.
I saw a comedian 25 years ago,
That was Tom.
maybe 30,
He's very good at
smashing
looking at the
fruit on stage.
Idiot.
Smashing fruit.
Never
Big
make it.
hat, suspenders, and striped shirt.
Never make it.
That
never make a
comedian-
dime, that guy.
comedian
Fruit smashing
became,
loser.
A multi.
became Tom Daddario.
No, it did not.
You did
It
not.
did not.
Did not. But listen, I got a lot of material from my son because I mean,
But it's what you feel too. You're using what you feel.
Can I talk about
what I feel?
a statistic I heard about stay-at-home moms? that
Yes.
I looked up
What?
today.
Yes.
Yeah,
What-
please.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Two things.
Get us back on the
In
top.
1950 something, right?
53.
Let's go with that. 49%, and I thought it would be higher, or let's say 50%, were stay-at-home moms.
Really?
I thought it would be higher
Right.
because Leave It to Beaver days.
Yeah.
Now it is 1 out of 5,
Stay at
which
home.
is 20%.
20%.
Yeah.
We see how I did that?
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm the
Very good. Tom Daddario.
Is
the
it-
mathematician.
Go
I got
What
good
else?
English too. I got good
does
English.
Who would have thunk it?
20%.
1 out of
And
5.
then it said, and I don't, this is probably somewhat of an arbitrary statistic, but if you looked at all the occupations that a stay-at-home mother has, they listed, accountant, childcare. They said the things they do.
That's what she was saying.
Yeah, but
things
wait
they
a
have to
minute.
do. I know
So
it's kind of
an
arbitrary.
accountant?
She does the bills.
She
So
does
if
the
you're
bills.
so if you're a cop and you drive past your house a couple of times a day, you're a stay-at-home mom.
Clearly,
no.
clearly whoever wrote this article was a stay-at-home mom.
You're not listening to what he's saying.
Anyway, they
said if
said
you're an
you would make
accountant, you're a stay-at-home mom.
$144,000 a
Yes.
year
Yes.
if you
You know what I'm saying?
you
wanna know
had
what I
all
think
these
is different?
occupations.
Hold on, Steve.
Going.
I understand what Tom's saying, but
Going
that's
No,
to
that's
purpose.
what,
no, but I don't think he's understanding what you're saying. They're saying stay-at mom does all these jobs.
Right.
The laundry, the what do you call that? The
And I
Oh,
drove-
so you're
and I
saying
drove
they're
a
an
cop car.
accountant, they're a chef.
right. They do all these things.
Well,
Right.
that's true.
And I
That's
drove the
true.
cop
Yes.
car.
And you know what it is? What I think that you do, Mary, and what you did when you were
Still
doing
doing
it full time and still doing it now, is that a guy comes out of a job you know, Steve, who was a firefighter, John, firefighters, great occupation. But when they walk out of the firehouse, they're done.
Yep.
You're 24 hours a day,
But-
7
but you
days
know
a
what?
week.
But
That's
you know
the
what?
difference too. Where I thought, I'm sorry, the office would have been better because
You're the
the
guest.
emotional pull
Of
being
course.
around a kid all day.
Oh, it's
Right.
The other
It's like if your
statistic-
boss was your husband and then he
exhausting.
yelled at you all day. If he's just your
Yes.
boss, it doesn't bother you.
Let me say something,
But if
though.
it's your kid, it's more
Tommy,
difficult.
let me say something about why I was lucky. My wife was a nurse, I was a firefighter, and Steve knows many firemen like this. I had my kids on my days off because my wife was working.
Right.
So
Right,
I
you
was
rotated.
lucky enough. It was exhausting, but I was younger then. When I'm with my grandson
Yeah.
now, I'm like, how the freak did I do this?
Right.
Yeah.
I was lucky, and we'll go to some events, golf out, and you'll see the guy there, even funerals, they got the kid with them or whatever. So I looked at it as we were very lucky in our profession to be able to do that, because most professions, we don't know how to, the guys don't change a lot of diapers, they don't do the shopping, they don't cook. We did a lot of that on our days off.
But that's
Yeah,
a balance.
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
a
look,
balance.
it's also just the sign of the times. I mean, it's just, you know, my father didn't even know how to boil water, but it's just
Right.
at the time, it's a different generational
Yeah.
thing where you can't expect to be in a relationship today and not help.
Oh, yeah,
Like with
no.
a child,
I will
you know
say
what I
my
mean?
ex
Like
went
it's-
to the diapers, went to the grocery store. But it was a balance. Listen, me staying home, we did without things. You know, I wasn't driving an
Exactly.
Escalade. I drove a little Altima, which was fine.
But
But we
also-
made that decision.
We didn't go on
Right.
fancy vacations. My
We
wife
never.
worked part-time.
But look at
Went
what
to Lake
families
George
do.
with my
look,
in-laws.
look at what families deal with today, John, that you didn't even deal with as much with your children because now they're 18 and 19 years old. But I have cousins of mine that have 7, 8, and 9-year-olds, and they're in 57 different sports
Well,
that
that's
require
a choice.
1,100 different uniforms.
And expense.
and
I just-
money. But my
Insane.
cousins, my cousin and his wife, they're amazing. But they are every weekend. They're like
I know.
Kelsey to the thing, to the baseball game,
But
and then,
Tommy,
they're- and then
you gotta sit down
pole
to-
dancing.
Get
No,
them
no, no
started.
pole
Yeah,
dancing.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just
getting
kidding.
to
Deterioration
is
of the
that
family.
a good thing? Because now the father, my dad worked 2 jobs because my mother stayed at home. So my dad didn't see us during the
Yeah,
week.
but
You know?
there's a good balance
3.
though. There's a balance there because my father would give me a marble and say go away, and I would be gone for like a month. That's no good.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to have right.
I coached
Like you
my
want to
daughter's
have
soccer
you want to have some
teams.
fatherly stuff going on,
Yes.
right?
That's what
I
I'm
my
saying.
had
dad-
it, and it was there on the weekends, which I think this is where the sports come in and take away. I saw my cousins. I saw Peter. We did family events. Now
Yeah.
it's like, I'll see you in the hallway. We're going to this. I think it's a little saturated
little
right
much.
now.
It
with
is.
the-
But my dad didn't have like there wasn't like a big father son thing going on there. That's why I'm a comedian. I'm a needy. You know what I'm saying? No matter every audience that laughs at a joke, then I'm like the next night I'm like, okay, hug me again. And then when they like me, that's not enough. I got to get more.
I don't know if you
That's
need
why you
that.
helped me with that joke when I said, should I say alcoholic dad? And you said, no, say absentee dad. Remember?
That's right.
Because
I
I said
remember
about
that.
my
bit.
husband.
One word
Does it work?
sometimes make a big difference.
I get a moan with it.
It doesn't work.
I
Doesn't
say,
work.
go shopping for the cards.
And then she
so
says, Tom
hard.
Daddario wrote that for
That's
me.
right. Whenever she
followed-
bombs, she's
yeah.
like, I want you to know
Should
Tom
you go-
Dario wrote this
well,
whole set.
Should you not consider that a laugh when it's a
I don't.
one of those?
I don't like
don't
that.
think that's a laugh.
No,
Yeah,
some
that's why I
comics
was like, oh, I gotta
some
get rid of
comics
it.
do the same line time every time, and I'm like, how are you still doing that for 2 years when it's
It just gets
you're
a
getting
groan.
a moan or not? You know.
That's what I was like. I
I
cut
just
it.
feel like it's just a different world today where it's that there's so much going on for parents where there's so many things. If you don't help and a stay-at-home
Oh.
mom, you have to get help. It's so hard to do it alone, like from a husband when he comes home at night, or
I would pack my husband's lunch every night.
it's so
It
difficult.
is, but oh my God, I don't want to defend the dad, but I'm just saying.
Here he goes again.
Here
Goes again, defending.
All right, I'll give you an
Yeah.
example.
Hello,
Hold on.
hello,
hold on.
1948.
I wasn't
Yeah.
mowing
Wait,
the
I'll get-
lawn. I wasn't mowing the
No.
lawn.
Hey,
No.
John
This
thinks a dame should be able to have some activities too.
Yeah.
No, what
what
did
I
you
mean,
make
Mary?
tonight?
Sell
Listen,
Tupperware.
hold on.
Why are you
You
wearing
can sell
pants? Why didn't
Tupperware.
you come in a skirt?
Yeah. Oh,
Hold
hey,
on.
Mary.
Hold
Don't
on.
I let you sell Tupperware, Mary? Don't I let you sell Tupperware?
Hold on. Hold on.
Avon, you did that for a month,
my
right?
daughter-in-law works in Manhattan, and my son works in Long Island. She is on a 7 a.m. train. My grandson gets up at 7:38. My son gets him up. He dresses him. Now we come over and take him at the point. He comes home before her. Does he make dinner? No, because she likes to cook.
Oh.
She likes it's therapy. She loves to cook when she comes
teamwork.
home. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's tiring. She's
Sure.
tired getting up at that hour. So let's say not the man or the woman, the one who has the long better. I could see her coming home and going, "Hey, did you make dinner?"
Of course.
You know.
Well, if that's the arrangement they have.
Right.
But I'm saying the
She
dad,
wanted
if he
to go
worked
back?
and traveled an hour and a half, what's wrong with the stay-at-home mom making the dinner?
You wanted to go back to work?
No.
I
Do you
think.
watch your grandson?
Yes.
I think
So they don't have to
John's.
pay for childcare. 'Cause
John's
I would never
touching.
understand.
John's
we're very
touching on.
lucky.
John's touching on an interesting subject here. Mm-hmm. He's touching on something that's interesting. I think it. I guess.
I don't mean to be a male
explain
chauvinist,
first.
that's
No,
not
no,
what
you're
I'm
not.
saying.
Let me explain where I think you're going with this, and
Let me
then
explain.
we could talk about it from there.
Good, because I don't know where I'm going with it.
Exactly. Nobody over there knows either. So this is the thing. Can a man say like, "Hey, I come home and I want dinner on the table"? No. I get that. I'm
No.
just saying that that's the extreme.
Yes.
That we're talking about.
Yes.
But there is a certain amount of respect. See, it's all a
Yes.
matter of respecting each other.
Honey, would
so
you mind?
if you're home,
Right.
and I'm working, and you're home, and I come home at 9, and you get home at 5, and I call you up and I'm like, "Hey, can you throw something, order some seamless and
You're a
you know,
charmer, Tom.
whatever."
You can get away
Yeah,
with
look
that.
at you.
You're a
Think
charmer.
so?
Yeah, the way you say it. You're
Did you
going,
have an
hey,
agreement?
you're very appealing.
Well, Tom, see, they had an
We
agreement
did.
that you were
It
going to
was
make the
even
meals.
almost unspoken.
John's
You know,
Jake
he was
LaMotta.
out taking care of that. I
Right.
had no problem.
He's a little
That
bit
was-
like, "Did you
He's
ask my
Jake
wife?"
LaMotta. Oh, make the steak.
Listen,
Cook
I'm
the
a little old
put it-
school, so our
my
arrangement
ass
was
kicked.
unspoken.
Mary
So
and John.
if you were home waiting for me and I was coming home and I called
like,
you and I was like, "Hey, can you
You
do
didn't
this?"
even have to call.
Because, right.
Just tell her.
Just,
He's going to call you tomorrow.
I mean, if
He's
you wanted a
gonna
special
marry.
request for dinner, but
Okay, what
you
about
should
this?
assumed it was
What
gonna
if
be on
I
the
came
table.
home and I can't.
What were you going to say?
No, stop. We can't. This is a TV show.
Stay quiet. It's safer.
Stop. Listen,
No,
every-
but I'm being serious. Like for a moment, it's like I think
a
it's just
question.
all a matter of respecting each other. And I think what you're talking about with your son-in-law or son,
they have
Son.
an agreement,
son,
right?
he's doing the right thing and they're respecting each other.
Yes.
But if your daughter-in-law said to your son, "I'm leaving at 6, buddy. You better make sure you get in there and blah blah blah," it's going to become a problem.
Right.
There are women like that, trust me,
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
men
that
like that.
emasculate their husbands.
But
Better
men
believe
like
it. And I blame the husband.
Because he should
He's a
snap
man up.
her ass. Oh, I'm
Be a real
kidding.
man like
I'm
Tom.
kidding.
That's being a
I'm
little
kidding.
sexist because
Be a
a
real
woman
man like
shouldn't.
Tom.
A woman shouldn't take crap either.
That's
It,
right.
it goes on both
Don't
sides
ask
of the
me.
fence.
Ask John.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, when my wife works a full day at the hospital, if I mention the fact that, hey, when you come home, you think you can cook a meal, I'm getting my ass kicked.
Well, of course,
All right?
because you live the life of
Right.
Riley. You're
I
retired.
don't live the life of Riley.
Yes, you do.
Oh, my God. Steve,
What are you
tell
saying?
him.
Mary stays home painting her toenails? Come on. She's
Come on,
working.
John.
Don't
you
bring them
They're
up.
paid to-
I didn't. They are, but don't bring up. I didn't get the.
come on.
touch
You
up.
got it pretty
I
good.
gave you
What
the
time do we have to
statistics.
wrap this
She
up?
should be
6
making
o'clock?
How did I get-
$143,000
How
a
did I
year.
get on this side of the...
You live the
Wait, we
life
can
of
talk
Riley.
funny,
I'm
talk
not
funny.
saying you live the life, and that doesn't. I'm
I
not
work
saying
4 jobs. I'm retired. I work 4 jobs.
you
Wait,
work.
what house
What are you,
were
a
you in?
caddy? You
teach.
hold the camera.
I teach.
Yeah.
I produce comedy shows.
Yeah.
I teach, and I teach for 3 different companies.
By the way,
You
Tom.
teach, and also teach.
Yeah, well, it's 3
And
different
so I'm
companies.
4
I
comedians.
don't even know how to ask this.
I do comedy. And I
Mary.
also do some comedy.
Tom, if you came home and said, "Mary, would you mind making dinner?" She'd go, "That's fine. Can I open for you in Atlantic City this weekend?"
There you go.
That's
No,
the way it would
but
work,
then I-
baby.
then I would
That's a
say-
reciprocal relationship.
No, but I would say, yeah, please make me dinner. And the booker told me he doesn't want me to introduce anyone else to it.
And then she would say, "Oh,
Problem solved.
the dinner got tied up and never made it.
That'd be
No,
great.
I'd say,
Never
don't
made
worry,
it.
I'll introduce myself.
I got lost." Hey, Bob, how much more time before I dig myself into a hole here?
Really don't have much time because
Oh, I know. We got to. I know.
you went over, John.
I was waiting for you to.
Well, you know the time I should have said something.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Well, this is the second week in a row I had to drive to this place and be on your show.
I know.
Last
Next
week
time
there
we
was
may be
horrible
changing
traffic.
clothes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you to the Nursing Home Warriors
Mercy Home Warriors.
and to Mary Capone.
And that's Nursing Home Warriors on Facebook, right?
Nursing Home Warriors,
Nursing Home Warriors on Facebook.
Facebook.com/something.
Like their page.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Left to
Adios.
Say
Hey,
Live
listen,
Live.
I'm at Governor's Comedy Club next weekend, the 9th and 10th.
Oh.
Do I have time to say
and
that?
I'm opening
Or is
for
it
And
done?
Mary's opening for him.
9th and 10th, this coming weekend at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown.
You switch my
with
kids.
gloves, we're slapping in hands, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer, that circle the lips, play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball. Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.